that each of its sides perfectly corresponds to the 4 cardinal points of the compass. And remember, it is the most perfect compass the world has ever known to this day. They may even remember that the Great Pyramid is located in the center of the world's landmass, and that its height, discovered by satellite technology in the last century, is exactly congruent with the mean altitude of the Earth's landmass. Even the casual observer can't help from being drawn deeper and deeper with intrigue and fascination into the numerous and incomprehensible features of the Great Pyramid that defy human logic. Consider again the fact that in the last 80 years, it was discovered that the Great Pyramid was actually an 8-sided pyramid, the only one of its kind in all of Egypt. When the base was more carefully studied, it was discovered that the base of each side of the pyramid was actually curved at the same ratio as the circumference of the Earth. What enormous, incomprehensible engineering difficulties did this create for the designer in building this feature into the Great Pyramid? While these details are often taken with just a grain of salt, as are many of the other details simply glossed over, such as the 80-ton ceiling joists that formed the ceiling of the King's Chamber, which were shipped north 500 miles from Upper Egypt, all orientation to the time element in order to accomplish these seemingly impossible feats is lost. With the mind swamped and overshadowed with details defying human logic, it is not hard to bypass perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the construction of the only remaining wonder of the world. The foundation of the Great Pyramid not only had to be on a solid platform of hard granite in order to support the 5,200,000 tons of rock, it had to be made perfectly level. How was this accomplished in those days? Keeping in mind also that the 14 acres upon which the Great Pyramid sits also had to be contoured to the curvature of the Earth's surface, else the blocks that would be built to the apex, which was 480 feet, would begin to slightly separate as each successive course of blocks was set in place. How did they cut down into the hard granite rock with copper tools, the only known tools of that era? And once they did manage to crack the surface, how did they possibly go about making it totally flat and smooth so that each successive core of inner core blocks would be laid without even so much as the slightest variation? In fact, along with the ball and socket features in each corner, the Great Pyramid has not moved nor settled even a fraction of an inch in over 5,000 years.